Welcome back! If you're passionate about photography or videography, you know how crucial it is to choose the right lens for your setup. And today let's talk about one of my favorite lightweight prime lenses, the Canon RF 35mm f1.8 Macro IS STM. The Canon RF 35mm f1.8 is part of Canon's RF lineup, designed especially for the mirrorless cameras. As the name suggests, it offers a 35mm focal length, a maximum aperture of f1.8 and macro capabilities. First, let's talk about the build quality and design. At first glance, the Canon RF 35mm f1.8 Macro is compact, lightweight and it feels well balanced in hand. It weighs around 305 grams, making it a perfect lens for long shoots where you want to keep your kit light. The lens barrel is primarily made out of plastic, keeping the weight of the lens down, but don't let that fool you into thinking it's not durable. For sure, you can also see a couple of switches and rings. One of them is the customizable control ring, which is something Canon has implemented across their RF lenses. This ring can be assigned to various functions like aperture control, ISO adjustments or all kind of other settings, depending on your shooting needs. And for sure, the focus ring is smooth and it offers just the right amount of resistance, providing a good feel when manual focusing. On top, you also have the switch for the auto or manual focus and the one for the stabilization. So all in all, the build quality of this lens is absolutely great in that price category. In my opinion, especially the light and compact form is absolutely great and one of my favorite features of this lens. But what's about the image quality? Because at the end of the day, no matter how good a lens looks or feels, it's the image that matters the most, right? And I've actually used this lens for a couple of years now, and the Canon RF 35mm f1.8 Macro delivers sharp images with excellent colors. The lens performs absolutely great in various lighting conditions, making it a great lens that you can always have in your camera bag for all kind of shootings. Thanks to its fast f1.8 aperture, it also provides a lot of light and a beautiful bouquet, making it a great choice for portrait and product photography. Especially if you really like the 35mm look, the RF 35mm is a perfect budget-friendly option for anyone who needs a compact and lightweight lens. Wide open at f1.8, you will notice a slight softness around the edges, but the center remains absolutely sharp. This is something you might expect from a lens at this price point, and it's not necessarily a deal breaker, especially considering how sharp the image becomes when stopped down to f2.8 or f4. One of the biggest selling points of this lens is for me, of course, its macro capabilities. Basically, the RF 35mm offers a maximum magnification of 0.5, which means you can get pretty close to your subject and still maintain sharpness and details. This makes it an excellent choice for photographers who love to capture these tiny details in flowers and insects, or even for product photography where showing fine details is crucial. When you want to use it for macro photography, you will notice that it's absolutely great for these fine textures and details. Especially the close focusing distance allows you to get really close to your subject, which opens up a lot of creative possibilities. However, there are a few things to keep in mind when you use this lens for macro photography. And the first one is that at a very close distance, the depth of field becomes incredibly shallow, even when stopping down the aperture. This can absolutely make it challenging to get your entire subject in focus, especially if it's not a flat surface. But of course, a shallow depth of field can also be an advantage if you're going for a more artistic look, isolating specific details while blurring the background. And yes, I've personally used this lens for a lot of detail shots over the last couple of years, and next to the 100mm 2.8 Macro, the RF 35mm Macro is my go-to lens to take these kind of photos. And yes, the image quality is absolutely great. But next, let's talk about the autofocus. In real-world use, the autofocus is quick and reliable, even in low light. Of course, in my opinion, it's not the fastest lens in the RF lineup, but it's more than capable of keeping up with everyday shooting scenarios. So whether you want to take a photo of a moving subject or if you want to switch from a distant scene to a close-up, the autofocus performs great. But for sure, there are better versions out there. On top, the silence of the STM motor is especially great when shooting video, as it ensures that your audio won't be disrupted by the sound of the lens focusing. But if you take photos, you will notice the autofocus motor. So if you're looking for a silent lens, this one might not be the best option. And speaking of video, let's discuss how this lens performs when recording. In my opinion, the 35mm focal length is absolutely great for video work, offering a natural field of view that works for a variety of shooting scenarios, from interviews to establishing shots and even some vlogs. On top, the f1.8 aperture allows for excellent low light performance, and the ability to achieve a shallow depth of field is great for adding a smooth bouquet to your footage. So all in all, the Canon RF 35mm f1.8 Macro is truly a multi-purpose lens. The 35mm focal length is wide enough for landscape and even street photography, and in my opinion absolutely great for portraits. On top, the 1.8 aperture makes it a good choice for low light situations, and the macro capabilities open up a whole new world of close-up photography. So especially if you're a photographer who likes to shoot a little bit of everything, this lens offers a lot of value. I've personally used this lens for a long period of time as my main lens for a variety of shootings, and it never let me down. For example, it's perfect for travel photography where you want to carry a minimal kit but still have the flexibility to shoot various subjects. On top, street photographers will appreciate the natural perspective and the ability to shoot in low light without compromising on the image quality. And of course, if you're into macro photography, photography, this lens is a great way to get started without spending a lot of money. However, if you're a professional portrait photographer who prefers longer focal length, or if you're looking for a lens with top-tier sharpness across the frame at all apertures, you might want to consider other options in the RF lineup. Of course, don't get me wrong, you can absolutely get some stunning results out of this lens, but you will definitely notice the difference between the more budget-friendly lenses and some high-end glass like the RF 85mm 1.2. But now let's move on and let's talk about the price. At the time of making this video, the Canon RF 35mm is priced around 500 to 600 euro, depending on where you purchase it. For what it offers, so the sharp images, a fast aperture, macro capabilities and the lightweight design, it's absolutely a great deal, especially in the RF lineup, which tends to be on the pricier side. And especially at this price point, this lens offers excellent value for money, because at the end of the day, this lens is accessible for hobbyists who want to expand their kit without spending a fortune. In my opinion, it's also a solid addition to any professional's lens collection if you're looking for something versatile and reliable. So, should you buy the Canon RF 35mm 1.8 Macro? If you're looking for a versatile high-quality lens that can handle a variety of shooting situations, then yes, absolutely. This lens offers a lot for your money and can easily become a go-to lens in your kit. Its ability to deliver sharp images, handle low light and capture fine details makes it a standout option, especially in this price category. However, as always, consider your specific needs as a photographer or videographer. If you find yourself consistently shooting in the scenarios we've discussed, this lens is absolutely a great fit. But if you're more specialized in your work, there might be other lenses in the RF lineup that better suits your needs. So, thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you need, don't forget to smash that subscribe button to stay updated for upcoming videos, and I'll see you in the next video.